Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Carla, and with me today is a special guest host, Matt Santee. David Blake is normally with me, but he is out on vacation. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. Matt is going to walk us through the site and show us all the great things that have been added. Today's Tuesday, August 13th. Matt, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Carla? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. So what are we looking at that's new on the homepage here?
Okay, so we've got a couple new features here. First of all, for our pro customers who get the S&P oscillator, we have surfaced the one-year S&P oscillator chart. So right under S&P oscillator on the right-hand side, there's a link, one-year S&P oscillator chart. Click on that, and you get a chart of the one-year oscillator performance. This is available normally in our nightly email, but we decided to bring it into Market Edge as well, just as a courtesy to our customers. Non-pro customers get S&P oscillator weekly, but they do not get the one-year S&P oscillator chart. So go ahead and close that. Another thing that everyone gets is, scroll down, our opinion ratio, which is something we wrote a blog post about a number of years ago. It's just something interesting we found, how our opinion percentages, whether long or avoid, sometimes correlate with future moves of the market in an interesting way that is worth looking into and being aware of. And we've gotten a lot of questions about this, and particularly the question, where can I find this ratio? Well, now it can be found right here. If you want to dig a little deeper into the Market Edge opinion ratio, we wrote a blog post. Now, Carla, scroll down to pro tips. We wrote a blog post a number of years ago when we first noticed this, called A Secret Market Edge Indicator. Anyone who's interested, I recommend reading this article because it's pretty interesting. I believe originally a subscriber was the first person who noticed it. So we did a little research and discovered that this actually is a fairly interesting indicator that we didn't even know we had. So let's move on to stocks. Let's see what's new on stocks.
Right?
Okay, so here's Axon Enterprises. Couple new things. The first and biggest change I'd like to point out is that we've moved opinion score right next to opinion in that top sort of horizontal row, in order to highlight the fact that the opinion score and the opinion are closely bound. So an opinion, let's say of long, like this one, where the score is 0, what that means is that that opinion is strongly positive. Its strength is strongly positive. It is a strongly confirmed long. As the opinion decreases for a long, that means that its strength is deteriorating. So it's not as strong of a long anymore. So we've added this gauge graphic, sort of visually demonstrate what exactly that means. So a long of -3, although it is still a long, it would be strongly deteriorating at that point. Let me find an example of a strong that is -3 real quick, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's say NATR, Carla.
Right?
So there you go. So this long is, because its opinion score is -3, it is strongly deteriorating. This long is no longer strongly positive. We've also highlighted that in the recommendation, what we think about NATR on August 13th, 2024, right down below. We reiterate the stock shows strongly deteriorating conditions. If you're long, close the position or monitor stock closely. Go back to AXON. Something just to make a note of in case you haven't noticed it. Carla, click Axon Enterprises Overview. Yep. Okay, so we surfaced just a quick company profile, basically, on the second opinion page. Now, this is available in the actual company profile, but this way, with technical analysis, technical conditions will bring a company to your attention, and you might not even know what that company does. I find myself in that position often. This way, you can get a quick, easy, at-a-glance company overview of what that company does on the second opinion page. So I find it useful. So where score used to be, we've put the slow stochastic oscillator. In this case, it's 93, which means it's overbought. Anything 80 or above is considered overbought. Anything 20 or below is considered oversold. The slow stochastic oscillator is a overbought, oversold indicator for individual stocks. For example, when you look at the recommendation, what we think about Axon on 8/13/2024, we say stock is a buy. It's overbought. Wait for a pullback to initiate new position. We get a lot of questions about this. What we mean is wait for the slow stochastic oscillator to pull back to below 80. That's when it would be no longer overbought. Let's talk about opinion history. So this is something that's only available for pro customers, but it's pretty cool. When you click opinion history, you see a chart of our opinion history going back 2 years. So green is long, white is neutral, red is avoid. You can click it to make it a little bigger. Basically to give you a history of how our opinion has performed on this stock over the 2-year time period. In this case, it's performed pretty good. We really called the long on this one in the short term. Okay, so close that. Other thing for our pro customers is the ability to comment. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but you can now write individual comments for a stock. So for example, yeah, you could write, the idea is it's a sort of investment journal, I suppose you could call it. So it's a good way to basically keep an investment journal within Market Edge. Well, the way I use it is I will write a comment for stocks that I have added to a watch list, basically about why I added it to that watch list. Why am I watching this stock? I find myself losing track of why stocks are in my watch list, in any of my watch lists. This is a way for me to have a record of why I'm watching this stock, although you can use it for whatever you want. Under the Axon Enterprise Inc., under the company name, you'll see, this is another new thing, you'll see the industry, which is technology hardware, and then the segment, which for this particular stock is other technology hardware. So click on technology hardware.
Okay.
So that's going to bring you to the industry. It's going to show you that industry's rank. Technology hardware out of our 30 industries is ranked 26 right now. So Axon is kind of an unusually high performing stock within a somewhat low ranked industry compared to our other industries. Rank, just FYI, is based off of a combination of relative strength and the 30-day performance of the stocks in that industry over the last 30 days. So if you wanted to see what the other stocks in the technology hardware industry are, you could just scroll down and there they are. Here's all of them, just in a normal table as you see everywhere else within Market Edge. So scroll up to the top, hit industries again. So now this is our industry tab. In here, you'll see all of our industries ordered by rank. So right now, telecommunications, based on its 30-day performance and its relative strength, is our #1 top performing industry. The industries tab is useful for going to find what is our top performing industry, what are the top performing stocks within that industry. So in that sense, it's a sort of idea generator. Let's take a look at chart view real quick.
Okay.
So this is something only available to our pro customers. If you hit chart view, you can see one of these lists, any of our screens, where instead of rows and columns in a table, it's a more visual format, it's charts. So you can write a comment within here. That comment will show up on the second opinion report, exactly how we were talking about earlier. You can add a stock to a watch list from in here by hitting that star.
Yeah.
So any of these lists, you can add it to basically. And now it's in current positions. You can also cycle through a number of different charts within chart view. Second opinion, history, point and figure, variety of charts. You can set all of the charts to a particular chart type. You can change the width of the charts via this thing. So 2 if you want to see a little bigger view. 5 if you just want to scroll through a bunch of charts. There's our "this is overbought" comment on Axon Enterprise, just to show that it shows up in chart view. Now switch back to table view. Just want to show something else, which is, if you haven't noticed, when you hover over a symbol, so hover over, let's say, Axon, AXON, Pro customers get comments, and the chart cycler, everyone else gets this chart plus the opinion, change since upgrade, and days at current rating. So this is I end up using this all the time. I find it to be extremely useful. I sort a table based on whatever I'm looking for, let's say opinion and score, and then I look at the chart of whatever meets my criteria. So this is the chart pop-up, just an interesting feature I wanted to highlight.
It looks like we can also view different charts here as well.
Yeah, so you can cycle through various charts there as well.
Great.
Let me point out one other thing. Go to Manage and then Manage Accounts.
Okay.
So for all of our customers, Carla is a employee, so she doesn't actually have a paid account, but we've added subscription management right down here, which will tell you what your plan is, what your price is, what your term is, and what your next invoice date is. Just occurred something for our customers to, when is my next invoice? Here it is. You can find out right here. How much am I paying? What's my term? What's my plan, etc. We've surfaced that all. That used to be something people would ask us a lot via support, live chat, or email. We've put it in the interface right there. I believe that's about it.
Okay, great. Well, Matt, I'm really loving all of these new updates to my Market Edge Pro account. I'm excited to start using it. And we want to thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. Matt, thanks again for joining us this week.
Happy to.
And we will catch you guys next week.